Hi, I'm James Schillinglaw, and I'm here with Mario Fajaira, who's the CEO of Mystic Cruises and, what you may know better, Atlas Ocean Voyages, the brand new brand that just emerged last year. We're going to talk to Mario. We're aboard the World Navigator, which is a brand new ship on his owner's cruise, and we're going to give you a little preview of what's going on with Atlas Ocean Voyages and Mario's career in general. And this is Insider Travel Report. Now, Mario, first of all, thank you so much for hosting me on this wonderful cruise. It's your private cruise, so I'm very honored to be on it. You've done a great job, and we've had all your friends and your investors and everyone else is on board. Let's talk a little bit about, first of all, your impressions of this ship, World Navigator. You obviously been building it, but what are the things that really stand out for you right away?
Well, this is a very interesting vessel in terms of decoration, space design, stability, all the features that you would like to see in a small vessel in terms of using it like if it was your mega yacht. So you can walk around, find your privacy in an open deck, in one of the lounges, enjoy the decor as you were mentioning a while ago, in terms of rich finishing without being too exaggerated. The new materials allow us to this day to have non-fire hazard materials that can give these fantastic wood finishings. Also, this vessel, by being 10,000 tons vessel, gives particular possibility to our clients to be on their verandas and be by themselves if they want to, or use our spa, use our magnificent sauna that you have seen facing out with a great view, which is going to be particularly interesting when we are in Antarctic, so you can see the penguins outside and the ice, and you are feeling very warm inside the sauna.
No, that's going to be great. That's an experience I have to have one day.
Yeah, so in terms of food, the restaurant, it's very open with gigantic windows, ceiling to floor windows, which also, in a cruise, you enjoy the visits, you enjoy the culture, enjoy the tours, but obviously you want to enjoy the food. And enjoying the food and spending
I've been enjoying the food a lot. That's what
I'm glad you are. And you are there, you spend a considerable amount of time in the restaurant. So we thought that would be very interesting to have open, beautiful light and great windows, so you can also enjoy the surroundings and the views while you are cruising.
And you also have a patio on the back. You can go out there as well.
That's where I recommend breakfast and lunch every day. That's where we just came from, and excuse my vacation clothes, but we are actually...
You're on vacation. So.
Sort of vacation. We are doing, this is the first ever cruise. It's actually a shakedown cruise. It's a cruise before we start the official season with this new vessel, and we're all happy to be here and enjoying it.
Well, most people know you, if they know you in the States, as being the builder of river cruise ships on the Douro, and then you also have your own river cruise in Europe as well. Talk a little bit about how you changed from river cruising to expedition and ocean cruising, and why you did that.
Well, it seemed like it is a very rational and growth step from having 100 to 200 passenger vessels in all the main rivers in Europe. So we decided we were doing also coastal in Adriatic. So managing vessels up to 200 passengers in this niche market, it's a natural growth for us.
But that's a little bigger. Your Douro vessels are a lot smaller, right?
Yes, but in terms of logistics, has to do with the fact that you need the crew. There's a lot more crew in a vessel of this size, of course, and you have to have a back office that has grown a lot back in Porto and in Germany and in the US. At Fort Lauderdale, so our office have grown a lot to manage these logistics in terms of touring, in terms of traveling, in terms of making sure that you get the right experience when you arrive to ports, in terms of making sure that you get the proper steaks wherever we go. It doesn't matter if we are in Antarctica.
You've done pretty well. I've had a few good steaks.
We have very good steaks. So it's the most difficult is to have the first going well, and then the second is a repeat, the third is a repeat, and so on. And as more as you have in terms of a combination of the same type of vessels, easier it is to operate them.
No, absolutely. Now, in terms of rivers, I mean, you used to build them and operate them and then license them out to different brands on the Douro, and then you decided to go off on your own and you bought a river cruise line, and now you have Mystic Cruises and now Atlas Ocean, which is the U.S.-facing brand. What was that evolution like? What was it?
Well, for Germany and for Nico Cruises, it had to do with a partner of ours, I wouldn't say competitor, that was doing the same as we did in the river cruising in Portugal. They were doing it in Germany for almost 30 years now, and we bought that company, and we turned it around, and it's a very big success and one of the largest, if not the largest, river cruise company in Germany for the German market. Mm-hmm. Then we thought that we were a bit out in terms of American market, and we decided to create Atlas Ocean Voyages in Fort Lauderdale to be specialized on selling cruises and expeditions and warm waters within the time frame that we have between Antarctic season or Antarctic summer and Arctic summer. There are about 4 months that we need to fill, and that we call it warm water cruising. That's what you experience now, and that's what we will have now until October, and from October on we go down to Antarctica. Well,
that's what we're looking forward to. And of course, I love the idea you're going to do expedition cruising throughout the world in warm waters as well. Talk a little bit about your personal journey, how you got into cruising, because you started from sort of modest beginnings and then moved along. Tell us a little bit about that, because I understand you even started on a cruise ship, right?
Yes, and I enjoyed it. I wanted to see the world, so I worked on a cruise ship for a few years. My first world cruise, I was 20 years old. So it was a great fun, and for me, being back and come back to vessels, to ships, it's lots of fun. So of course,
but now you own them, so that's different.
Well, it's more responsibility because it's not possible to be in one of your vessels and not look at what's going around. So in reality, I'm never at rest because there is always something to look at. So, but the way to have or to acquire as much perfection as is possible in terms of the ship that we want to create and to offer to all our guests is to experience it and also accumulate this experience to make the next one better than the previous one. So this one, the Navigator, is better, far better than the last two. And we hope that the next one is even better than this one.
The next four, I believe, are all going to be under the Atlas Ocean Voyages brand, right?
We are thinking of 4 for now, but maybe even increasing up to 6. That's on the table right now.
And I think you have 4 within, 2 or 3 years, right?
Yes, now we're putting 1 every year. So next year we have the Traveler. Following year we'll have the Seeker. Yes. So
now you have another. You have your Mystic Cruises brand, and also Nico, which, as you mentioned earlier, was a German brand. And you just acquired what you're calling the new name Vasco da Gama. I believe it was actually originally a Holland America ship. Yes. What do you plan for Vasco da Gama?
Vasco da Gama, it's already cruising in Baltic right now. Right. So it's a vessel of around 1,200 passengers. So it's a different model. It's what we consider a small cruise ship within the large cruise ships. Right. So when we have a 1,000 passenger vessel in there with almost 60,000 tons, so it's 6 times larger than this one, it gives you the opportunity to have a larger theater, so you can have proper shows on board. It allows you to have 7 or 8 restaurants, so you can have one night if you like to go to Asian dinner or Italian dinner next night. So you can play tennis, you have basketball, volleyball, you have 2 pools, you have a inside pool with a retractable ceiling. So I think that is a perfect product for the German market, where we are starting to move a considerable amount of passengers. large amount of passengers. So we are very happy and very actually we were very pleased to be able to make a huge conversion into this vessel, because when we acquired it recently, we realized that we had to do some upgrades in terms of emissions to make it a greener ship. So what we did was we changed all the engines, upgraded the engines, installed very advanced catalyzers. So we had this inspection from the Norwegian agency that came and measured all the emissions, CO2, SOx.
Well, that's also important now.
And yes, and we passed with a fantastic green flag, so we are now allowed to travel in the fjords and in the northern Europe. Also, we totally upgrade the sewage treatment plant with a new state-of-the-art German design plant. So all the major upgrades were done into the environment and to turn it into a beautiful green ship that will be ready to operate for the next 20 years.
Have you tried it out yet?
Yeah, I've been on board several times, but not on a cruise yet. They were gentle enough the other day to cook a fantastic meal for me and some of our friends and engineers that were visiting the works, and show the preview of the show on board that was totally impressed, done by Gina Ryan, singers and dancers.
Now, what's your strategy for growth going forward? Are you going to continue to build river ships, continue to build smaller expedition cruise ships like this one, or are you going to get more into the larger ship market with Nico?
With our strategy is to preserve ourselves a very specialized niche market company orientated into the rivers all over the world, new rivers that might come into our radar. Of course, the expedition, because I think this is the perfect size where you can still have a very positive operation, and without being very, very big in terms of numbers for passengers. So you can feel, like I mentioned before, as your large private yacht. Then
this definitely feels like a large private yacht, and especially now because you have all your friends and on board, so it's very different. You look very yachty today.
Yes, I am very yachty today. So yes, and then we have also the 1000, which is considered then within the world of cruising. This is niche. This is expedition 200. Small cruising, it's 1000. 1000 right. Is small ocean cruising. Yes, and to those, yes, we might consider to grow on that, maybe more into the German, Swiss, and UK markets. Okay. Into those markets, Northern European markets, I think there is room to operate those type of vessels because they are very elegant, and you can, with 1,000 people, can still have an atmosphere where you by the end of the cruise you know almost all the guests. Well,
especially on this ship, we almost know all the guests.
The first day, you know all the guests on the first day.
You greeted me the first day. Hell, you actually gave me a coin, which is great. That was great.
First one.
So I have that. So I've got a great souvenir. Yeah. Now, we go out to about 90,000 travel advisors in the U.S., as well as a lot of industry people look at us. What else do you want to tell them about your company, about Atlas Ocean Voyages in particular, because that's the brand that faces them?
Well, what I would have to say to them is that if they have any doubts of the quality they will encounter, they're always welcome to come and experience it. And they see that this is a fantastic new product, and it's a great return on what will be the guest investment. That's what I can say. It's good value for money. Of course, it's not one of those 5,000-7,000 passenger ships, so we cannot have the same price line, of course. But at the same time, and I can't emphasize enough that this is a very fair price to be on your large private yacht.
Well, it is a very good value price with a lot of inclusions. I mean, that's the biggest thing, and I think that's what you're going to find for your clients is that there. And I mean, obviously you're in a category that seems to be exploding. Expedition cruising. Everybody seems to have an expedition cruise ship, but together they don't amount to one Royal Caribbean or whatever.
Exactly, that is the thing. Altogether, we have almost 7,000 beds with all the ships we have, including all the river vessels and stuff. So that's one of those ships.
You're one mega ship, so you can stay niche, stay small, right?
Yes, exactly. You can stay in this, and there will be plenty of room for many other expedition vessels because these represent a very small percentage of what the cruise industry is right now.
Well, Mary, I want to thank you for hosting me again. It's been a fantastic experience just getting to see all your family and all your friends on board, and then they're going to start revenue sailings fairly shortly. Probably when you see this, they'll be in the water and going. But again, congratulations on World Navigator. We've been waiting for this during the whole pandemic, which was amazing. You launched a cruise ship during a pandemic. Right away, you got a star. Yeah. So it's been an amazing journey. So again, thank you so much.
Thank you. Look forward to see you all here.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.